Alright, I am back again with another unboxing. This box was from Sam's auction, and if I remember correctly, this one was mostly Transformers and Star Wars. So I'm excited to open this one up, as I've gotten a couple boxes from him in the past. And it's always been some really good stuff, so let's see what we got in here. Alright. Tape's particularly strong, so that's nice. There we go. Okay. We're just gonna put this away. See what we got in the box. Alright, we've got some fancy styrofoam. Let's see. Looks like he did almost as good of a job as Megan does when she packs our boxes. They can, basically survive a soccer player's attack on them. Let's see what we got here. I think I know what this one is. Get all the bubble wrap off him. Alright. So this is, one of the fans' choice figures. This is Elephant Man. This figure is very heavy and very prone to fall off the card. I picked up a loose one of him a while ago on an auction, and it was missing part of his staff weapon, so it's kind of cool that I have a complete one now. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep him on card or if I'm going to open him or not, but I at least have a complete one now, so that makes me happy. Set him down there. Let's see. Looks like I bought a lot of carded stuff, which, usually I'm a loose kind of guy, so. For toys. So it looks like we got a retro Hoth Leia. What's cool about these ones is they're very close to the original figures, but the weapons are very easy to tell apart, so you can't be mistaken for a true vintage weapon or a true vintage figure. Maybe later I'll do a little video comparing them, because I'm definitely going to open her up, because I like how much darker the figure is than the original, so it's a nice variation on her. So we'll put her with Elephant Man. This looks like an old Power of the Force figure, which, because they're so cheap, I just love picking them up. So this is a troop building figure. This is a Rebel soldier, but it's the later version that came with the the freeze frames. Not a super rare one or anything. I think I paid $5 for it, but I'll never say no to the freeze frames if they're under $5. So we're definitely doing a lot of Star Wars today. This one is one of the cooler Wookiees from Episode 3. This is actually Tarful, who knew Yoda. Him and Yoda were buddies. We never saw what happened to him, but it is really cool to finally have the figure of him, because I never saw him in the store. The only one I ever had was, of course, Chewbacca, and then I had the preview figure that was just like a Wookiee grunt, so it's nice to have one of the named Wookiees. Down there. Yep, it's a Star Wars day, let me tell you. There's another one of the more common ones. This is Lobot. I think I paid $3 for the poor thing. I've never seen him with a freeze frame, so a nice little addition to the collection. I'll probably keep him on card because I don't really have any desire to play with Lobot. So, let's see, go with that. Looks like we got another freeze frame. I think I just literally bent the card. So, Oh, this one is R2-D2. And this R2-D2, if you're not aware, is one of the better molds for R2, because he's got all the extra tools. He's not quite as good as the Vintage Series one, but he also has less gimmicks. So if you just want a good generic R2, this was a nice one to pick up, and he's super cheap. Toss him in the pile. We've got some loose stuff. This one, obviously, is one of my favorite Transformers. This is Blaster. He needs a little work. His eject mechanism doesn't work, and he's missing the actual window here. But otherwise, the toy looks decent. He's got both ears. I'm thinking of, I have one that has a broken door, where the clip's actually cracked off, but it has the window. So I'm going to see what I can do about making a a complete blaster. And just for fun, let's go ahead and pop him into robot mode here. Put his legs down. He's got a little bit of discoloration, but not too bad. His joints seem to be pretty tight, so that's good. His head stays up, and his arms are pretty good. So, yeah, this will be a nice body once I clean him up. Just gotta fix that door, and we will have a perfect blaster, so he can fight my Soundwave. We're just gonna put him over here. Oh, well, this one's a pretty simple one. It's some muscles. Well, all the ladies are telling me I need some more muscles, so here we go. Problem solved. All right, next up, this looks like a loose figure. Oh. Looks like it's a little piggy. This little piggy went to market. I have a problem with these guys. I just constantly like to buy Gamorrean Guard whenever I see them, especially when they're cheap. So, another one for the collection. I really need to start saving this bubble wrap, so when I eventually start selling, I'll have plenty of packing material. Alright, this is another vintage Star Wars. This is a Royal Guard, which you can't really see through the bag. Just going to pop them out. So what it looks like is none of these have weapons, but they're in nice condition, and they actually have the stands, which is really cool. I'm really happy that Sam threw those in. This cape's seen better days, but, you know, for the price I paid, he's definitely worth it. Another one that I'd like to troop build. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, this is an Atari game. One that they actually don't have, so that's pretty nice. MAD. I actually don't know much about it. The only US games I ever had were Name This Game and Squeezebox, so a little later today I think I'll be doing a video and playing this game for the first time. Now, it's pretty rare that there's an Atari game that I haven't played, so that's just one that must have just slipped through the cracks. So let's see, we have another baggie here. We are going to open up what looks like Motor Master. Now I knew he was missing some stickers, and that was fine. I got him for, again, a really nice price. I recently got an extra set of the Stunticons, so I'm definitely going to see what I can do about putting yet another Menasor together. But more or less, here's his robot mode. Some people like to put his legs like that. For me, I like to go with what the instructions say and kind of give him that bow-legged look. Now, your mileage may vary, but there's good old Motor Master. Put him over here with Blaster. Oh, looks like... Oh, this was a controller for the 2600 that I didn't have. So the way you play the track and field game is you're supposed to either waggle the joystick back and forth rapidly, which, as you can imagine, for an Atari controller that's 30 plus years old, the controller is going to get worn out real quick. So they actually released the game on the Atari with this, so instead of hitting left and right, you're hitting these buttons rapidly. Now I imagine these would eventually wear out too, but certainly a lot less wear than you'd put on your joysticks. So I have this game laying around somewhere, so I'm gonna see what I can do about giving it a shot. I hate track and field on the NES, but it's kind of neat to have a unique controller. It might actually make a terrible game fun. We'll see. All right. Next up, this looks like another Star Wars figure buried in the bubble wrap. Let's see, it looks like a sand person. And here he is. Good look at him. He's got a bit of paint wear on his head, but he's got a really nice cape. So you can never say no to sand people. And this is probably like my 10th or 15th one, so pretty soon I'll have an entire family for Anakin to slaughter, so that'll be cool. Another one. I can kind of tell that all of the ones that are vintage Star Wars are packed in these kind of like tube-like things. So this is, now if anybody knows me fairly well, I am kind of a fan of Ewoks, particularly Chief Chirpa. I troop build him. This is probably, I'm close to about 100 now. So I'll always pick up Chief Chirpas. I prefer them with the hood, but if it's cheap enough, I'll buy a hoodless one. next up, looks like I might have bought... Oh, not comic books. These are some stickers that I kind of impulse bought. Because as a kid, I was a little into Puffy stickers. I absolutely loved the Puffy stickers. So, we've got 2 different sets of Cabbage Patch Kids Puffy stickers. I mean, I would prefer Transformers or the old Nintendo ones, but I couldn't say no to these for the price. So, got 2 sets of those. So that makes me happy. And there was a comic book in there. It's actually number 16 of the Forgotten Realms. I like Dungeons and Dragons, so why not? Throw that in the pile of comics. One of these days I will sit down and start rereading comics, because it's been a long time since I just binge read an entire series of comics. So this looks like it's our buddy Teebo, completely naked, but I do get a stand with him, so can't say no to that. Again, Murder Bears are the best. Over there with Chief Chirpa. Almost to the bottom of the box. This looks like, oh, yep, this is a Bespin Luke. I think it was the first thing I bought in that particular auction. So again, looks like I got a stand with him. And yeah, he looks like he's in really good shape. Look at that. He's, you know, I've already got really good ones, but this one just seemed really nice. So happy to add him to my collection. He might even replace the Luke that I have on the shelf, because I do have some extra accessories for him. Right, our next one, this one looks like, oh, it's another Piggly Wiggly. And he does have his stand, which is cool. So, another guard. I really hope they release, for the Book of Boba Fett, if they release the skinny Gamorreans that were fairly prominent in the show. I think that's everything in the box. Yep. And that's it. So, another boxing. Thank you much for the toys.